And so we have the contestants of the Ryan H final. First of all, we have the boys and girls from Goggins Hill. Number 1, Alan Harrington. Number 2, Jason Condon. Number 3, James Meehan. Agus Ivrakar, Daniel O'Mahony. Number 5, Stephen O'Connor. Number 6, Donald O'Shea. Agus Ivrashocht, Peter Goulding. Number 8, David Roach. And number 9, Diarmuid Duggan. Number 10, Brian O'Sullivan. Number 11, Shane McSweeney. And number 12, Owen Flynn. Number 13, John Coleman. Number 14, Andrew Smith. 15 will be Philip Culnan. Number 16, Colin Condon. 17, Cliff Coleman. And 18, Liam Cohan. Number 19 is Sean Daly. Number 20 is Anthony Cronin. And number 21 is Michael O'Regan. The Clonty team. Number 1, John O'Sullivan. Number 2, Jim Walsh. Number 3, Brian Deneen. Number 4, Patrick Crowley. Number 5, Declan Kiley. Number 6, Brian Buckley. Number 7, Timothy Roach. And number 8, William Harrington. Number 9, Mary Bridget Ennegas. Number 10, Bobby Roach. Number 11, Paul Foley. And number 12, Finbarrow Flynn. Number 13, Mark Armstrong. 14, Colm O'Connell. Number 15, Jonathan Miller. Number 16, Olive O'Sullivan. 17, Eric Mulligan. And 18, Peter Reardon. 19 is Robert O'Riordan. Number 20, Timmy Long. 21, Christopher Deneen. And 22, Diarmuid Deneen. And 23, Lloyd Cooney. The referee for today is Joe Leary from Scoil and Apirshig, and the linesmen are from the Holy Cross School in Mahon. And so the scene is set for the start of the Ryan H final between, in the green jerseys, the boys and girls of Clonty National School, and in the blue jerseys, the boys and girls of Goggins Hill. And so Joe Leary throws the ball in to commence the match, and from the throw-in, Timothy Roach sends Clonty on the attack. The ball is right in, and it's a goal! Right in the very first attack of the game. The ball sent in by Timothy Roach up here to number 9, I think was, number 13. Number 13 was Mark Armstrong, and Mark just buried it in the back of the net. The very first attack of this game, a 13-a-side game between Clonty and Goggins Hill, played here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh on the 26th of May 1994. A very wet year it has been, and it's seen out here on the pitch. The pitch has lasted well, I suppose, given the amount of rain we've had. And this is the the last final of the Scoil finals for 1994. A 13-a-side game, as I say, and the ball is up around the Goggins Hill back line. Again, Timothy Roach, the man who sent the first attack in motion, getting it into his hands and sending it left hand and right in, but it's blocked away by James Meehan for Goggins Hill. Sends it out, but only as far as number 11 is Paul Foley, trying to get it in, but he's been harassed, and eventually it is Donald O'Shea gets it out for the boys from Goggins Hill. But Clonty have it again, and this is Declan Kiley trying to pick it, gets it into his hand eventually, and sends a long ball in. Clonty doing all the attacking at the start of this game. In there is number 4, Daniel O'Mahony for Goggins Hill, but he's beaten, and it's got across there by Bobby Roach, but only into the hands of James Meehan, and he sends a long ball way down the field. Hovering back there for Clonty again is Declan Kiley, but Declan is hooked. He's hooked by Peter Goulding. Still fighting for it, and eventually sends a ball along the ground, where running for it is Timothy Roach. Timothy gets the ball in, and left-handed sends the ball right across the goal, and it's gone just into the side netting and wide. So the second attack is again an attack for Clonty, but this one goes wide. So Clonty lead after just over 2 minutes of play. Clonty 1 goal, Goggins Hill no scorer yet. In fact, Goggins Hill haven't yet attacked the Clonty goal, and Standing back to take the puck out is James Meehan. Alan Harrington is goalie looking on as James sends the ball about 40 metres out. It's blocked by Donald O'Shea. Donald gets it into his hand, does a little solo run and sends it down to Shane McSweeney. Now, numbers today don't count for an awful lot, being 13 aside. Usually teams will play 2 full backs and 3 half backs, and obviously 2 then in the forward line. The long free being taken right into the square again, and it's pulled on by Allen. Allen having to get out a small bit. Number 12, and it's in around the goal still and goes wide. Number 12 there for Clonteed, Finbar Flynn, a son of Éire Oaks Dennis. Had a chance there for a second, but was blocked down by the bodies of the Goggins Hill defenders. The ball comes out again. Is that man again? Timothy going across after. Has it now. Sweet striker off his left hand side. He's trying to get into his hands. Can't. He's dispossessed by Stephen O'Connor, but he's still after it. And this time he gets in a small bit, but Stephen again covering back and gets it out. The ball is still around 20 metres out from the Goggins Hill goal. Covering back there is number 2. Number 2 is Jim Walsh. Jim is the son of Pat, the chairman of Tracton Club. He gets the ball out and further pulled on there by Mary Bridget. Round the centre of the field. Still pulling on the ball. There's Mary Bridget again. But this time it's number 8. Number 8 is David Roach for Goggins Hill. Fails to get it out. Still stalemate here. Goggins Hill trying to get it out. Clonteed trying to get it in eventually. Number 5. Number 5 is Stephen O'Connor for Goggins Hill. But only as far as number 8 is William Harrington. He sends it high and to the right. And Eddie McCarthy, the umpire, waves the third attack wide. The third attack for Clonteed, just wide of the post. So Clonteed leading by that. Mark Armstrong goal, the very first attack of the game. Ball around the centre of the field. Here we have Timothy again. Timothy getting the ball into his hand, but referee blows a whistle and awards a free for Clonteed. Clonteed have opened this game really at a ferocious pace, and they have put Goggins Hill under an awful lot of pressure in this opening period in the first half. Nicely taken and dropped right in, and it's dropped right into the goal! All the way from that free by Clonteed's number 4, I think it's number 4, Patrick Crowley. We'll have to wait till Patrick turns around, because with the helmets it's very hard to get a good view of the players. No, sorry, it was number 5. It was number 5, Declan Kiley, got that goal all the way from the free. I'm sure Alan Harrington in the Goggins Hill goal won't be too happy with that. Out the ball comes again, and here we have Timothy again, around the centre of the field, trying to get the ball into his hand, being harassed and put under pressure by Brian O'Sullivan for Goggins Hill, but Timothy eventually gets the ball and gets it a long one in towards where Mary Bridget has the ball. Pulls on the ball and it's gone through. Here she is again, but cleared out. Well done there by Daniel O'Mahony, but only as far as number 10. Number 10 for Clonteed. Number 12, sorry, for Clonteed. Finbar O'Flynn getting the ball in, but eventually he's put under pressure and dispossessed, and Donald O'Shea gets it out for Goggins Hill. Pulled on, well pulled on by David Roach. Down here, we're running back for it is number 2, Jim Walsh. Jim Walsh getting the ball into his hand. Goes past his man on a little solo run, but is dispossessed. Well done there. Well won for number 12, and well head in by number 12 for Goggins Hill. Number 12, Owen O'Flynn. Very well done there by Owen. Worked very hard to win that ball. Send the ball across the goal, but there was no Goggins Hill player. The nearest player to it was number 7, Peter Goulney, but he couldn't get to it. The puck out comes right in the centre of the field. Well caught in there by number 10. Number 10 is Brian O'Sullivan. Well done, Brian. Right in towards Owen again, but it's cleared out the side of the field, but it's pulled on again by Clonteed. It's coming out here where the pitch is very mucky and very cut up after the previous day's games, but number 8 for Clonteed. Number 8 is William Harrington. Gets it right in around the square. Pulled on out by Stephen O'Connor for Goggins Hill. Out as far as number 8, Brian O'Sullivan. And David Roach who gets it. There's Brian now. Brian hits the ball out towards the wing and running for his Peter Goulding. He keeps the ball going. Gone in to number 12. Number 12 is Owen O'Flynn again. He's trying to pick the ball. He's trying to get it in now. Comes back to Declan Kiley, the scorer of that goal from the long free. But Declan is dispossessed, and a free awarded by referee Joe Larry, a free water to number 5, Stephen O'Connor. Well, this game, even though Clonteed have gone into an early 2-goal lead, has the makings of a cracker from the very start, as Goggins Hill now take their turn to put on the pressure and win this free, which will be taken from around 35 metres out by number 9, by Dermot Duggan. Dermot, fine tall lad for a boy who's still only in 5th class. Bends over it, lifts, and strikes and sends it high and sends it straight over the bar as umpire Neelis DC there, no hesitation in putting up his hand, and John O'Callaghan raises the white flag for the first goal of the game for Goggins Hill. So after over 8 minutes of play, Clonteed lead by 2 goals to 1 point for Goggins Hill. Goggins Hill into the attack again. Number 9, David Duggan, trying to get the ball in, and again another free for Goggins Hill, which Dermot Duggan scored a similar point, or a point from a similar distance, and maybe this one, if anything, is even nearer the goal. Lifts this one and strikes and sends this very dangerous in towards the goal, and it's blocked out beautifully by John O'Sullivan and cleared out to Timothy. Timothy Roach gets the ball in. A very good stop for that from a very dangerous ball there. The ball has gone in towards the Goggins Hill goal, cleared out by James Meehan out towards this side. Mary Bridget gets the ball in, but only as far as number 5, Shane Stephen O'Connor. Stephen O'Connor working away there, trying to get the ball out with James Meehan, and the ball eventually gone into it. It's cleared by Dylan O'Mahony. Dylan O'Mahony only out as far as number 12. He gets the ball in, and oh my goodness, right into the goal. Right into the goal by Finbar Flynn. The Aero man snapped up that clearance, and right into the goal he's put it, past Alan Harrington. Well, a good save at the other end of the field by John O'Sullivan. The ball cleared out, and the next attack, another goal for Clonteed. So Clonteed putting away their chances. Up to this, Goggins Hill playing very well around the middle of the field, but not as lucky in front of goal. As the ball again worked in by the Goggins Hill centre fielders. There we have Timothy trying to get the ball, but it's blocked away, and eventually he gets it again. That man again, Timothy, pulling on the ball, but he's beaten to it this time by Shane McSweeney. Shane getting the ball in towards Owen is there. Owen is pulling on the ball, but across comes the goal scorer Declan Kiley, and Declan sends the ball down. We're running front. We have Daniel O'Mahony running with Paul Foley. Daniel getting the ball out to Brian O'Sullivan. Brian still fighting for it. Brian, whose father does an awful lot of work in the Ballinhassig club and was a great worker before that with the Ballyphehane club. Brian eventually is just beaten by sheer weight of numbers and concedes a free, and I'm sure up will come the man who struck the last one into the back of the net, Declan Kiley, to take this free. He's about 40 metres out from the Goggins Hill goal. He steadies himself and he lifts and he strikes, and this is one is going to drop in again, and out come the Goggins Hill backs, and well blocked out by James. James being sent out, but Timothy has it. Timothy off his left, sent along the ground, but it's only as far as number 5, and that's Stephen O'Connor. Stephen sends it to Brian O'Sullivan. He's playing more around the middle of the field now, and he gets it down to Owen. Owen tries to get it on, and John Coleman. It comes down to Brian Deneen. Brian shifts a fair shoulder, says the referee, and he's still there in there fighting away for Clonteed. Gets the ball to number 6, Brian Buckley, and Brian pulls on the ball. It's very near the side, and across to get it is Stephen O'Connor. His shot is blocked by number 9. Number 9 is Mary Bridget. And as they fight for the ball, the linesman raises his flag. It's very hard to see the line down there because there's been a lot of play down under the stand here, which very often can get very mucky, and that's the situation today. Very hard to make out exactly where the line is, so the linesman there deciding that it was a line ball, and line ball taken by number 8 for Clonteed. Number 8 was William Harrington. He's getting the ball and he goes after and he's fighting for it, and eventually he pulls in it again, but only in as far as Stephen O'Connor going across, gets it off his left, but only as far as where Clonteed's Mark Armstrong, the man who scored the first goal. He's going in, he's still going after. He pulls in the ball right across the goal, and there's a stop by the goalie Alan Harrington, and running in after it was Clonteed's Paul Foley, I think. But with only the goalie to beat, he just put it to the right of the post, so that'll be a miss now, a miss for Clonteed. They've already scored 3 goals, but they'll feel that they should have converted that. Out it comes to that man again, Declan Kiley, sends the ball in, but it's pulled on by Daniel O'Mahony. returned. It's only returned to James Meehan, who is blocked down by number 13. It's 2 against 1, but James is fighting. He's not going to concede here. Number 10 for Clonteed is Bobby, trying to get the ball across, hits it off James Meehan, and so Bobby Roach gets a free for the boys and girls of Clonteed, who once again keep up the pressure. And after almost 13 minutes of this first half, 20-minute half, 13 aside, remember, Declan Kiley going to take this free for Clonteed. Besides, he can take another metre and go up to the line. Lifts and strikes. This one's going to drop short. Out comes number 4, Daniel O'Mahony. He gets as far as Brian O'Sullivan, but is caught out there, and very well caught and stuck in, but goes to the right and goes wide. And that ball, I think, was struck by William Harrington. We'll check on that now in a minute as the puck out comes from James Meehan. Now James gets a lot of distance into that puck, right out where Declan is running for it, but he's well blocked off and well tackled by Owen. Owen gets the ball in, where running for it is a man whose number is obliterated by the mud. It's number 13 for Goggins Hill. It's John Coleman, son of Willie, who's a guard out there and does great work with the underage as well out in Ballinhassig. If memory serves me right, I think Willie was chairman, if he's not still chairman of the club. And there he comes again, is John running for it, but it's cleared out and very well got by William Harrington, the man who had that last shot on the Goggins Hill goal. Sends it right down the middle of the field, and Mary Bridger has it. Mary is going through, but it's knocked off her Hurling. But it comes out as far as number 12. Number 12 for Clonteed is Finn Barrow-Flynn, the Air Oakman. Send it off to number 11, small in size, but a lot of hurling has Paul Foley. He gets it in where it's cleared out, only to Finbar again. Finbar sends a nice ball in, but to the left, shouts Alan Harrington, let it go, and he's back, still as they were told, let the ball go to the right of the post and wide. And so all the pressure again in this first half almost coming from Clonteed. The one shot, the free that was taken by this man here, well blocked by John O'Sullivan in the goal. And this man is Dermot Duggan. Dermot, who has the only score for Goggins Hill, getting the ball in to that man Coleman, John Coleman, who sent it across, but it's cleared again by the Clonteed backs. The Clonteed backs not giving away anything lightly. Of course, they'll be trying to emulate their near neighbours, Bullock, who had a great win in the previous match to this one. Bullock won a great match against Clyne, so I'm sure Clonteed will like to go back. Most of these players would be playing with Bullock, I'm told, would like to go back to their home club, making it a double for that neighbourhood. Here we have that man who's not playing for Bullock, that's the Air Oakman, that's number 12, Finbar Flynn, getting the ball across, getting it across to Paul Foley, but Paul out of luck. His shot goes to the right and goes wide. So James Meehan has been very busy today, pucking out the ball, has been pucking them out well, as he does with this one. Sends it right down towards the middle of the field. Martin is running for it. That's, William Harrington. William looking for the ball with Dermot. And Dermot comes away, it won't rise for him, and William Harrington comes back, gets the ball again, goes towards number 6. Number 6 and number 3, Brian Deneen and Brian Buckley, 2 Brians for Clonteed, and between them they put the ball out over the sideline under pressure. So a sideline ball, and as you can see, the pitch not ideal for hurling. In fact, we've gone through such a wet spring that and early summer that people are wondering, will it clear up at all? But these boys from Clonteed and girls from Clonteed and from Goggins Hill, they're rising above these conditions and giving us a very exciting match. As one of those is James Meehan getting the ball, a great ground shot, but it doesn't find any Goggins Hill player on the wing here, so it's a sideline ball which Brian Buckley will take for Clonteed. Brian off his left, sends the ball in, but Dermot Duggan coming out and clears a great ball off the ground, sends it in towards Owen and John Coleman. John strikes along the ground. He's under pressure by Declan Kiley, and the ball is walked over to Brian Sullivan. Well done, Brian, pulled on the ground, sends it in towards number 7, Paul is going in, but he's blocked down. He has it again, sends it right in, and danger here, number 11 for Shane McSweeney, sends the ball out, and who has it here? It is Owen again, is it? Owen trying to round his man. He's blocked down, but it works out well. It comes to number 8. Number 8 is David Roach. Sends it right in for Goggins Hill, and it's going to be across the square. And well covered and well blocked by Jim Walsh. Jim Walsh, as I say, one of the Clontarf players whose background, whose father had connections with Tracton, but as I say, most of the rest of the players would be playing with Al Bullock. As the ball comes down to the other side of the field now. Now it is Clontarf's chance again, or turn again to go on the attack, but fighting for the ball, and well sent in there towards the goalie, who's Alan Harrington, and Alan taking no chances and on the ground. But it comes back to number 10. Number 10 is Bobby Roach. Bobby, who sent in the first ball, is there to pull on the ball, but send it again to the right and wide. So a lot of wides in the last few minutes for Clontarf. Goggins Hill still can't seem to penetrate down around the Clontarf backline. Here's Diarmid. Diarmid sends a long ball from about 60 metres out, but now it's turn of Goggins Hill to be wasteful, and that one goes to the right and goes wide. So John O'Sullivan getting out his pucky out Hurling and sends a good long ball right out to the middle of the field. Well caught by Brian O'Sullivan. Off his left, well done Brian, getting the ball in, but there is Declan Kiley for Clontarf. He's been followed by Peter Goulding, but he gets in his puck, but only as far as the Clontarf, or the Goggins Hill centre fielders. It's gone right in up towards Owen. Owen puts up his hand, tries to grab it. Well blocked away by Brian Deneen, but only as far as number 11, and it's gone right across the goal. It's got into the goal. My goodness me, what a goal by Shane McSweeney from an almost impossible angle. Shane hit the ball. I'm sure that John O'Sullivan didn't think that ball was going to go into the goal, because it came from such an impossible angle, and it slipped in past him, and now another ball coming in, and there's John again. It clears out there. Shane, another ball right across the goal. This time it's Brian Deneen taking again, no chances. Very sensibly sends the ball out, but it's returned right in again. There's Owen. Owen pulls in it. Brian is there. Brian Deneen, now he's going to try and pick it up. Owen is in it again, working very hard right throughout this game for Goggins Hill is Owen. The ball has got out to the middle of the field, returned in again by number 8. Number 8 is David Roach, but the pressure relieved for Clontarf. Gone right down to the middle of the field, where Goggins Hill now coming more into the game, growing in confidence, and Donald O'Shea puts them on the attack. Down there for Clontarf is William Harrington. William rises the ball well. Brian O'Sullivan is after him, but he manages to get in his puck. The Goggins Hill backs are in position, and the ball comes back out to Brian. Brian, yes, he strikes a lovely ball in, but it's well blocked down by number 5, and that's that man Declan Kiley getting the ball up, but again it is Goggins Hill are defending well now. Unlucky there, number 5, and we have number 13 for Clontarf. He's bucking his way in, he strikes, and a goal! Oh yes, what a goal by Mark Armstrong. He scored the first one in the first half, and he really had to work hard for that one. Burst past 2 men and just slipped it into the corner of the net. Nothing at all that Alan Harrington could do over that. So after just on the half-time whistle, Goggins Hill 1 goal and 1 point, but Clontarf have done most of the scoring in this first half, leading by 4 goals to 1 goal and 1 point for Goggins Hill. So the scene is set for the second half of the Ryan H final between Clontarf National School and Goggins Hill. Clontarf in the green jerseys leading by 4 goals to 1 goal to 1 point to the boys and girls of Goggins Hill in blue. From the throw in, Brian O'Sullivan gets the ball, and Joe O'Leary penalises Timothy Roach of Clontarf, so the first free will go to Diarmid Duggan. So Diarmid hoping to add to the point that he scored from a free in the first half. He fails to rise it this time. Trying to block it down, and William is putting him under pressure. The ground conditions that time, I would say, partly responsible for Diarmid not being able to rise. It comes out to Timothy, and like he did in the first half, not getting that as much distance, comes down to Diarmid. Diarmid has the ball now, he has come right into the game, and he sends a long ball, but it's curling over, yes, to the right. In spite of the best efforts of John Coleman, the ball just curled to the right and wide. So the first attack in the first half for Clontarf results in a wide as Jim Walsh taking this puck out. I don't understand why John O'Sullivan didn't take it, because John sent some very good puck outs in the first half. The ball goes out, but Dolan O'Shea is onto it very quickly for Goggins Hill, trying to walk the ball forward. He's surrounded by Clonteed players, and one of them is William Harrington, trying to win the ball. Can't get it, and eventually again it's walked in very well towards the Clonteed backline. But there's Brian Deneen, has a very, very safe full back, played very well in the first half, and this time runs the ball out over the sideline, and it's a sideline ball for Goggins Hill. Brian Deneen, as I said in the first half, very, very safe in around the Clonteed full back line. Cleared away some great ball out to the side. And so we have Dermot Duggan for Goggins Hill, cuts the ball along the ground. Will it be stopped? Yes, it is. It's cut across the goal. This is dangerous. It's pulled, oh my goodness me, pulled right across by Peter Goulding. Peter pulled on the ball. It was, all it needed was a touch to put it past to John O'Sullivan. But still the score remains. Clonteed 4 goals, Goggins Hill 1 goal and 1 point. The ball is now down around the Goggins Hill backline. Now is Clonteed's turn to come under pressure, and there's number 12 for Clonteed. Number 12 is Finbar Flynn. Finbar had a very good first half, trying to get the Bostons along the ground. There we have probably the smallest man in the field, Paul Foley, but Paul comes out with the ball, pushing the ball in front of him. It fails to come up for him, but slips as he tries to get it past the much taller and Daniel Manny, and eventually Daniel gets the ball away. Comes out to via David Roach, but only as far as number 6, and number 6 is Brian Buckley. Gets the ball right in, and there is Mary Bridget fighting for the ball, and there's a sub on the Clonteed team, and that's number 16, Olive O'Sullivan. Olive will be back here next week playing in the Camogie. Herself and Mary Bridget will be playing for Clonteed against their neighbours Arbulloch, and what a game that promises to be, a Camogie game between the girls of Clonteed and the girls of Arbulloch, and 'tis the boys and girls of Clonteed are attacking, and there's Mary Bridget in the thick of it with Paul, and trying to get the ball out is number 4, and that's Daniel O'Mahony. Daniel is still fighting for it. There's Mary Bridget again, a real tussle developing there. Timothy comes on the scene. Now he taps the ball past 1 man, past 2 men, but eventually the ball is cleared away via Brian O'Sullivan. Now it's out in the middle of the field and going for this Dermot Duggan, running for the ball and pulling on it with Brian Buckley. Gets the ball in, but there's that man again, Brian Deneen. Reads the ball very, very well. Over it goes towards where John Coleman is fighting for it, but well cleared out, and that's, I think, is number 6 Brian Buckley again getting the ball down. Fighting for the ball is Brian O'Sullivan, pulls on it and eventually gets it out to where Brian Buckley has it, but he's beaten and cleared out by the Goggins Hill backline. A lot of play around the middle of the field, and there we have Declan Kiley. Declan, who took 8 frees in the first half, is fouled and he'll have another free in the second half. He scored a goal from a very long range effort in the first half, and this one goes very low, goes in towards Paul. He's beaten to it, but it does go as far as number 12. Number 12 for Clonteed is Finbar Flynn, but it breaks eventually to William Harrington. William along the ground, and it goes to the left, and it goes wide, in spite of the effort of Olive O'Sullivan to block it down. And as the public address comes out, there we have number 3, James Meehan, has discarded the helmet, hooks the ball right out in the middle of the field where Declan Kiley is going for it. Declan goes past Peter Goulding, and is still going, and Peter is still going after him, and here comes to Brian O'Sullivan, goes to the left of him and sends the ball high, but sends the ball to the left and wide, and Declan won't be happy with himself. He made great space, made great ground, but didn't make a score as the puck out again from James Meehan comes out to the middle of the field. Well picked up there by number 6, and that's Dolan O'Shea. Dolan's gone on a solo run. He's been followed by William Harrington. He's still going. He's been tackled. He bursts through the tackle, sends in a shot, and it goes just off the hurley of John O'Sullivan as Shane McSweeney was looking on the edge of the square. Remember, no square balls in the Iskeena Scoil final, so Shane O'Sullivan was quite entitled to be there, but the ball went just out of his reach, went out for a 65, which Dermot will take. Well, now in the second half, and we've gone almost 4 minutes into the second half, Goggins Hill are putting a lot more pressure on the Clonteed backline. Now they haven't translated that into scores as yet, as Dermot lifts the ball, not a very long one, gets the ball out, but Timothy comes out and robs Brian O'Sullivan. goes away with the ball. Brian O'Sullivan robs him in turn. Now Brian has it, sends the ball right across the square. Up the rise where the ball is going in. Here comes the ball trying to cross the goal. It's saved. My goodness me, they're trying to get it in, and the Clonteed lads are trying to get it out, and the Clonteed lads succeed because out comes Declan. Bursts out with the ball, Declan Kiley, and clears the ball way down the middle of the field. Where there is Olive. Olive is trying to get the ball. Olive O'Sullivan, and helping her out is number 12. Number 12 is Finbar Flynn. Finbar is under pressure. And eventually the ball is cleared out by David Roach for the boys from Goggins Hill. But there you have number 6, and that's Brian Buckley. And Brian says, we're under enough pressure, we'll clear it out towards the sideline, give ourselves a chance to pick up our players and mark up, because Goggins, or Clonteed, have been under quite a amount of pressure now in the last few minutes. Going out to take the sideline ball for Goggins Hill is Brian O'Sullivan. Brian is a fine hurler and cuts a fine ball right into where John Coleman was going for it, and back there goes Timothy. Timothy Roach getting the ball into his hands, and left hand he's blocked down by Owen, but eventually he gets the ball out towards the middle of the field. Out comes number 5 for Goggins Hill, and number 5 is Stephen O'Connor. Gets the ball in where there's a real tussle for possession in the middle of the field, and there's William. And William being William Harrington getting the ball and send it left off his left side right in towards the goal. Fighting for it there is Mark Armstrong, the goal scorer of 2 goals in fact. But Goggins Hill this time are able to clear the ball out, and it comes out to number 6. Number 6, Donald O'Shea, having a fine second half. Getting the ball out, real intense stuff now. As Goggins Hill wants more coming in the looking for another score. Owen is out there fighting for the ball with Brian. Brian gets the ball out, but only as far as another Brian O'Sullivan. Brian is going to rise, he has the ball. He's been tackled by Declan, gets the ball in, but William is back there. William Harrington. Owen is coming back on him. Owen tussling for possession and going after his Diarmid Duggan, and eventually out it comes to Donald O'Shea, and Donald is having a fine second half. There's that man Brian Deneen. Brian is under pressure. The ball is brought in around the goal by Owen. He's still pulling, and eventually it is again tapped out by the Clonteed. Clonteed playing very cute hurling, and that was Jim Walsh there who made that great save. Now it comes towards Olive. Olive is fighting for the ball, but in going for the ball she pushes her opponent, and her opponent is Stephen O'Connor, so it's a free for Goggins Hill, which will be taken by Donald O'Shea. So 12 points to 4. Goggins Hill, you feel at this stage, would badly need a score now to encourage them as that ball comes in, and once again the Clonteed backline standing up to the pressure, and that was Jim Walsh as a ball that seemed destined for the corner of the net from a shot by number 11 Shane McSweeney, and so Clonteed breathe another sigh of relief, but only for a few minutes, because Diarmid Duggan is going to take this 65. It's been all Goggins Hill in the second half, and really they deserve a score at this stage, unless Clonteed now are going to lift the siege, as Diarmid sends the ball is dropping dangerously in around the square, and again the Clonteed backs clear the ball out, but not out of danger yet. The Goggins Hill forwards are putting on it there, Stephen, and again it goes off the leg of one of the Clonteed backs. That's number 4 this time, Patrick Crowley. My goodness me, Goggins Hill are doing everything but score. A fabulously lofted 65 right in under the bar from Diarmid. And again the Clonteed backs manage to get it out, as Diarmid I think is stealing a few yards this time, but it doesn't, his cause no good, because the ball goes to the left and goes wide. So Clonteed are really only hanging on in there around the goal line, and I see Tomas Healy and Tom Hallen over there. They must surely be worried at this stage with the amount of possession that Goggins Hill have managed to get in the second half. Now Timothy, he gets the ball in his hand. Here's a man who can send a long ball in, but he's blocked down. But it comes out to his midfield partner William Harrington, who's going on a sole run. He's been tackled by Shane, but he gets the ball right in around the square where James Meehan is going back for it. And there is Olive as well, number 4 for the boys from Goggins Hill is Daniel O'Mahony. He gets the ball out, but only as far as number 13 gets the ball, and James Meehan is there. James gets the ball into his hand, has been tackled by Olive and by Mary Bridget, and James gets the ball out right out towards the middle where Brian is going for it with William Harrington trying to lift the ball. It won't come up from him. He says I'll hit it along the ground, which he does nicely in to number 13. Number 13 is Mark Armstrong. Mark has scored 2 goals already, but he won't score this time because he's dispossessed, and well dispossessed by number 8, and number 8 is David Roach. He gets it out to the middle of the field as far as Donald O'Shea, and Donald gets the ball right down. Brian Deneen this time for once misses the ball. It's gone into John Coleman. John is trying to get room to swing his stick. He gets the ball around, but Brian Deneen is not easy to beat, this fella, and he gets the ball out to the side. We're running after, we have Declan, and Declan is going to go on a solo run. He's followed by Peter, but he's going to go away from Peter, and off he goes. He's going to go away from Owen. Owen manages to knock the ball off his stick, but in doing so he fouls him. So a free for Clonteed. So it's real end-to-end stuff, even though they're not near on the scoreboard. Really, by playing this second half, Goggins Hill probably deserve to be much closer to Clonteed than they are at the moment. It's still 12 points to 4. 4 goals to 1 goal and 1 point. As Declan takes this, sends it high. It's dropping about 30 metres from the goal, going out for it and getting it well, and pulling on the ball beautifully across the goal. It's gone in towards Mary Bridget. Mary's there with James and Olive, and the ball eventually walked out from the goal by Jason Condon, but it only goes as far as William. William is trying to tip the ball. Donald is there. Donald has been surrounded now by 3 Clonteed players, and eventually it is Declan. Declan has the ball, but again coming back on him is Donald. Oh, he was unlucky there, and in going to block down the ball he picked up an injury, and referee Joe Leary holds up play. Nothing serious, as Donald is having a mighty game this first half, as teacher Nora O'Mahony goes in to see he's alright, okay, as does John O'Sullivan, and okay, says Donald, and the referee decides that he'll throw in the ball, and Declan first with the pull, but he goes out over the sideline for a line ball, and there's Owen O'Flynn. Owen is covering great ground today. He's really put in a fabulous effort on behalf of the Goggins Hill team, so if they don't win, it won't be for lack of effort from Owen, as out comes James and he pulls on the ball. Lovely ball in, just where Shane is going for Donald O'Shea. Donald seems to be suffering the effects of that tackle a while ago, and the ball is walked into where James Meehan coming out, and it's gone in a beautiful, oh my goodness me, Mary Bridget, what a goal! The ball was walked in, James Meehan came out, but Mary Bridget came out first, and she pulled on the ball and she stuck it right up in the top left hand corner of the net. Mary Bridget, I think you'll be dreaming about that goal for years to come. What a goal, and that really now puts the icing on the cake for Clonteed. Clonteed have been able to register the scores where Goggins Hill, even though they've had as much in the play almost, just in front of goal, they just haven't been able to put the ball away like Mary Bridget was able to put it away there. And here come the boys again from Goggins Hill. They've been really putting in a great effort, but as I say, things really haven't been going for them up to this. As I see over there, Tomas Healy, great player with our Bullock. Tomas at this stage now must be a much happier man than he was at the start of the second half. As the ball is placed in over there as well, you have John O'Sullivan and Dennis O'Mahony and Willie Coleman, great Ballinhassig mentors who are with the Goggins Hill team today. And the ball is cleared out to, there's Brian O'Sullivan, well gathered, and as he's about to be tackled, he decides he'll get the ball in quickly, and there's Donald, what a game he's had in the second half. Sends the ball right across the goal as well, and they're in there again, and the ball breaks out, and oh yes! They deserve that. Number 9, Diarmaid Duggan, was in hand. He's already after scoring a goal in the first half, but they deserve that score. A beautifully flighted ball in by Brian O'Sullivan, and there was Diarmaid to latch on to the batted clearance and drive it into the net. So, with just under 7 minutes left in play, we have Clonteed 5 goals, Goggins Hill 2 goals and 1 point. Well, no, maybe Clonteed or Goggins Hill will find reserves and be able to fight their way back. They must be very tired because, as I say, the pitch is fairly wet, and remember they're playing 13 aside, while other teams were playing 15 aside. Every player out there today has to do that little bit more. James Meehan is under pressure from Mary Bridget. He gets the ball out. Olive is going for it. Olive has the ball, she turns and strikes and sends the ball across the goal, and is dropping and dropping. It's not gone yet. Paul is going for it. Paul has it, and Paul Foley across the goal is still off right, and there's Mary Bridget again. And here comes Paul, and Paul sends it across the goal, and the goalie is there, and Alan is trying to get out, but no, it's cleared right across, spotted across the goal, and there eventually it's cleared by David Roach. My goodness me, there was a few chances there for Clonteed. Out it comes to where once again Goggins Hill getting the ball up. Dermot sends the ball in. They're coming out is Jim Walsh, and for a fine solid game Jim has had today. Gets the ball out towards that man Foley. That's Flynn Barrow Flynn goes in a solo, comes over towards the side, and then sends a very dangerous ball in. James Meehan is there, Mary Bridget is on top, Olive is on top of him, but gets the ball out towards where number 6 Brian Buckley. Brian strikes along the ground, going after it is Owen O'Flynn, but Owen cannot catch this man, because this man is sending the ball high, but as he strikes it he puts up his two hands, knowing that he didn't strike the ball well. That was Mark Armstrong, but Mark, you've already made your contribution. He's already after getting 2 goals for Clonteed. As Jim sends the ball out, Damon Duggan fails to rise it. There's number 5. That man again is Declan Kiley. Declan sends a long ball right in the square. There's James coming out for it. He's under pressure from Olive. He's under pressure from Mary Bridget. But eventually they manage to get the ball out. Declan has it again. Declan Kiley. He strikes a long ball, and he strikes this one very, very long right in again. The ball actually sticks in the ground. No hop at all. It comes out to Timothy. Timothy has been a bit quiet from the second half, but does get it in this time to number 15. Number 15 for Clonteed is Jonathan Miller. Jonathan is a sub. Has come on in the second half. He pulls on the ball, but it goes out to the left and goes wide. And James Meehan coming to strike the ball. Strikes it low this time. Low and hard out towards the middle of the field. And Declan gets the ball right in, and well caught in there by number 2, and that's Jason Condon. Well caught James. James is a very gifted performer at athletics as well. But I would call Timothy. Timothy has the ball. Now Timothy, good striker of the ball. Gets the ball in, there's James again. Now he's under pressure from Mary Bridget. Gets the ball out, and from Barry has the ball, he gets it in, but James Meehan is there, and he strikes the ball out. Mary Bridget got an accidental knock there as she went in to tackle him. Out it comes to number 9, strikes the ball high and strikes it straight and strikes it through and strikes it over the bar. Beautiful point there from William Harrington, and I'm just wondering, is Mary Bridget okay? Joe Larry, the referee, has gone in just to check. I'm grand, says Mary Bridget. Why wouldn't she be? Because she's just after scoring probably one of the best goals I've seen for an awful long time here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. As the ball is struck out towards here in the middle of the field, number 5, he's going to kick it because he's under pressure, and Stephen O'Connor kicks the ball out to Dermot. Dermot has the ball. Dermot sends it high, sends it long, and sends it straight, and Dermot sends another beautiful point. My goodness, the standard of score taking today is really, really excellent, and by my reckoning, Dermot, that's 1 goal and 2 points you've scored today. Dermot Duggan for Goggins Hill. The puck out comes into the middle of the field. There's Timothy. Timothy is battled up, so Timothy kicks it. And the Timothy being Timothy Roach, but only gets the ball out as far as Stephen O'Connor. Stephen gets the ball down, and eventually it's put out over the sideline, and a line ball for Brian Buckley. As we enter the last couple of minutes of the game, at this stage now it seems that bar a grandstand finish of the highest order, that Goggins Hill will not be able to cut down that lead. But what they have been doing for the last few minutes, they've been keeping the pressure on the Clonteed team. But there's Timothy, a fine striker of the ball, and this time he strikes the ball right in towards the Goggins Hill backline, and there's Jason Condon being tackled by Olive. But eventually gets the ball up, pulled on there by David Roach, goes after it and strikes it out towards number 5, and number 5 is Stephen O'Connor. Stephen O'Connor is well blocked down by William Harrington. Gets the ball, pushes it in front, and then runs after it, then rises it. He's going across the goal and sends a left across into James. Oh my goodness, unlucky, very unlucky there by James Meehan. He put up his hand, well, it just skidded off his hand and went past the helpless Alan Harrington into the goal. Alan could do nothing about that. Here comes James with the puck out. So at this stage, with time up, decides Joe Leary, the Ryan H winners, and a double for the Abbott Parish. Clonteed, 6 goals and 1 point. Goggins Hill, 2 goals and 2 points in what was a most entertaining game. A great exhibition of hurling served up by 2 very, very good teams, and as they come over here to receive their medals. We offer our congratulations to both teams and to the team from Clonteed.